Hello everyone and welcome to the Smashi Business Show. Today is Thursday, May 1, 2025. A new month, a new start. I'm Abdul Majid Awan.
And I'm Warid Ahmed, and we have a great show for you today. So firstly, we're going to be discussing how TWG Global and Mubadala Capital are going to enter into a multi-billion-dollar investment alliance. Secondly, Pakistani startup MedIQ has raised $6 million for an expansion across the GCC, and Dubai always strives to be number one, according to the Dubai Future Foundation CEO. We're also going to discuss how Damac's Ali Sajwani, the managing director of Damac Group, has said, don't rush to fire your team for AI. And finally, His Highness Sheikh Khaled, the Crown Prince of Dhabi, meets OpenAI CFO Sarah Friar.
Let's start with the biggest news in terms of business at least. A major new deal is strengthening ties between Abu Dhabi's Mubadala investment company and top US financiers. The investment firm led by Guggenheim Partners founder Mark Walter and billionaire Thomas Tull is acquiring a minority stake in Mubadala Capital, the asset management arm of the sovereign wealth fund.
So as part of the agreement, TWG Global, backed by Walter and Tull, is also committing $2.5 billion to Mubadala Capital. Now, in return, Mubadala Capital is anchoring and leading a $10 billion syndicated investment in TWG, a move that forms part of TWG's broader $15 billion equity raise.
And Mubadala Capital manages about 30 billion in assets and was created 14 years ago to handle alternative investments. It became the first sovereign wealth fund unit to manage third-party capital back in 2017. This marks the second time in recent months Mubadala has opened up to external ownership.
Now, in December, it brought in 3 equity owners through a deal with credit asset manager Silver Rock. This new partnership with TWG Global starts with a 5% stake with an option to increase that over time. Now, TWG and its partners have also pledged up to $20 billion in additional capital for future opportunities.
Both firms are betting big on technology, and AI. TWG recently partnered with Palantir Technologies to expand AI use across finance, while Mubadala is a founding partner of MGX, a $100 billion AI infrastructure initiative announced by US President Donald Trump.
Now, TWG's holdings include Guggenheim investments in sports giants like the LA Dodgers, LA Lakers, and Chelsea FC. Now, its founders, Mark Walter and Thomas Tull, bring deep experience in finance and entertainment, and their entry into Mubadala Capital marks a rare shift in sovereign wealth fund ownership.
It's very interesting because Mubadala itself is nearly 500 billion, and their capital arm, which invests in startups and other things, is 30 billion.
But Majid, you know what's really interesting for me about this story? It's the fact that they're allowing, external figures to purchase stake in a Gulf-based company. The reason why I find that so interesting is I don't really understand the purpose behind that. What do you think it is?
It's 5% stake. It's a minority stake, but the whole idea is that 15 million equity raise that TWG Global is doing. Basically, they're trying to ask people for $15 billion, and then they'll use it here and there and multiply it. 10 billion now will be added by Mubadala. So Mubadala gets an in into their what's the word? Why do I forget words? They get an in into their investments, basically. So when TWG Global, it's a very big giant in the world, American obviously, when they invest in something, this 10 billion will give Mubadala its own money back. So it's a very strategic, it's a very nice, very smart investment.
So that's why they gave them stake.
So
okay, that makes
TWG
sense.
says give us 5% of Mubadala capital, and 5% of 30 billion is not that much. So they own 5% of it now, but they get an in into an international investment firm, and they get to make money out of where they will invest. So it's again, they're putting their money where they will 100% get their money
exchange.
back.
Okay, I get it now.
Very complicated stories these are, but it's very important to talk about them because the most important thing in the UAE right now in terms of sovereign wealth fund is these companies, Mubadala, ADIA, then there's Dubai Investment as well, but we always talk about Abu Dhabi as the capital of capital and the biggest sovereign wealth funds in the world. So yeah, very important story. If you want details, you can just go Google it, try to understand it, use AI. Try to give it to AI and say simplify it at
Yeah.
the level of a 5-year-old.
But
yeah.
I just want to add something into this that it was announced, I believe, at the end of 2024 that Mubadala was the most active sovereign wealth fund in 2024, with deploying $29.2 billion across various industries. And I think the key factor for everyone was the fact that it, like in investments, it overtook Saudi Arabia's public investment fund. And I think that this story over here, it's a great example of that. And we're seeing how they do it strategically, because that's why I asked, why are they giving them stake? I like imagine, like, I'm an Arab. I never want to give the white man stake in my company. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't want to do that. So I was like to myself, why would they do that? So the fact that they're getting something in return, they're deploying all these investments. Now we understand why they,
There's a very interesting thing about the head of Mubadala, Khaldun al-Mubarak. He's the only person out of all the big sovereign wealth funds that I always see at events speaking about stuff. Recently, he said that he doesn't attend meetings which doesn't have an AI vector. They've developed an AI personality, or whatever you call it, an AI agent, which helps them during meetings. It gives its inputs in the meeting. So he's like, I don't attend any meetings. I remember when last year Davos happened, the World Economic Forum, he was there as well. There also he said that we're very bullish on the US market. So they're very smart in this, that they want to grow mobile and to the side. Eventually, like, individual focus is very bullish on. Let's see, that is why I think the investor in any place beat Saudi Arabia. It was a global thing, so yeah, very interesting. Let's see, soon I think Mubadala will be at par with ADI.
yeah, they will
ADQ.
be. Just speaking of going global, this really special Pakistani founded health tech startup is going global, specifically in the GCC. Now, MedIQ has announced a successful $6 million Series A raise led by Rasmal Ventures in Qatar and Joa Capital in Saudi Arabia. Now, this funding marks one of the largest early stage rounds in the kingdom's digital healthcare sector.
And the startup was founded in 2020 by Dr. Saira Siddique, a public health expert and former World Bank consultant, after a car accident left her paralyzed and hospitalized for over a year. She said the experience from that exposed the fragmented and inaccessible nature of the healthcare system and inspired her to build a connected digital-first solution.
Now, MedIQ combines AI, digital infrastructure, and on-ground services to deliver integrated patient care. The platform already operates in Pakistan and Saudi Arabia, employs 180 people, and has raised a total of $9.8 million to date. Now, it plans to expand next into Qatar and the broader GCC region.
And according to Joa Capital CEO Yusuf Al-Yusufi, MedIQ is now the market leader in Saudi Arabia and is empowering healthcare providers with data, technology, and affordable solutions. Rasmal Ventures echoed this, saying the startup's vision is helping to redefine traditional healthcare delivery across the region.
Now, MedIQ's long-term goal is to become the operating system for healthcare across the MENAP. Now, Dr. Siddiq says it's not just a health app, it's a scalable digital infrastructure built to make healthcare more connected, more efficient, and prioritizing patients first.
Yeah, so it's a very nice story of her. Like, she went through a whole ordeal to realize that it's a paralysis in Pakistani medical system. I have lived there. I've realized that if you don't have the government hospitals, some of them, very few of them have world-class facilities, but it's a very rare case in Pakistan. Like, when I compare it to UAE, UAE has world-class systems in private, in public, in everywhere. Everyone has a insurance here. You're forced by the government, you're mandated by the government to give insurance to your employees. So there's a very nice system here which works. Pakistan, there's nothing. So this startup, to be honest, will help a lot. To be honest, right now it's for the upper strata of the society, because a lot of people in the lower strata, they don't understand technology as we do, as you do. But eventually, I think the goal is to go to those people who don't understand how to use a mobile app for healthcare facility, to book an appointment, to do anything. So the whole idea of the app is that it combines everyone, from doctors to hospitals to ambulances. It combines everyone in one app. So you can get all the services.
I think it's stories, you know, Majid, with these stories, they truly are my favorite, because, you know, the fact that she was paralyzed for a year, I mean, you know, that's something really traumatic that happened to her. And the fact that, you know, out of such a traumatic event, to persevere and to be resilient and to create something like MedIQ and to think about other people, I think these are my favorite ventures. And I don't know why, but it just brought to my mind this billionaire, basically in India, he's known as the barefoot billionaire, the founder of Zoho Corporation, Sridhar Vembu. Am I saying his name?
Sridhar Vembu.
Okay, thank you so much, Majid. It's great to have a South Asian with me to teach me how to say your names. Really sorry about that. But his story, what I love about it, about Zoho Corporation, is the fact that, you know, just recently I met their associate director, and
soon you'll see the interview
and
with them.
And I was speaking to them, and at the core of every single thing that they do, you know what is so important to them? Affordability. They want people to succeed. They want people to do better, to have better technology, while it being affordable. And I think this is truly reflected in their ethos through the fact that, you know, what's it called? Vembu, he lives in India. He doesn't travel that much. He still lives in the town that he grew up in, I believe in Chennai. So, you know, for me, stories like that, stories like MedIQ, stories like Zoho Corporation, they really stand out to me, because it's not every day that we see people building businesses and building companies for the people, and not for themselves. It's
not to become millionaires, but to help people, actually.
Exactly. And the fact that Vembu is like, allegedly, he's worth $5.9 billion. I mean, that is crazy.
We also shifted to Zoho from a lot of Western products, Slack, blah, blah, blah. We had so many things. At Augustus, we also shift completely to Zoho. Now, we use Zoho Expense, Zoho Click, Zoho. Literally, we use all
Zoho
the...
Social.
Whatever they have,
Zoho
we
people.
use them. Very interesting stories, because at the end of the day, I think the entrepreneurs which have an emotional attachment from personal experiences, or just from looking at people and seeing that this is a need, when they create something, it actually has impact. Usually people try to, if you go to a very technical, theoretical perspective of it, people say, just go find a small market which is untapped and just tap into that market and become big. The idea is tap into a market where you actually feel like giving. Or
you can make a difference. And I you know, I'm gonna, honestly, I will tell this from a religious aspect. I'm a Muslim, but, you know, something that I'm always told in my Islamic classes, Majid, is that all of us are born for a reason to develop the world. In Arabic, they say al-ta'mir. نعمر العالم. So, you know, for me, something like this, it's truly such an extension of me, because I just love seeing people do right by the people. It's always so inspiring, you know? Stories like this keep you going.
Yeah, that's the good part. Moving on, let's talk a little about the Dubai AI Week, which recently concluded last week. A lot of videos, a lot of stuff is now coming out, because it was such a big event that no one could see everything that was happening. But two main stories that we recently saw were His Excellency Khalfan Behlul, CEO of the Dubai Future Foundation, which was the organizer of the Dubai AI Week, under the patronage of His Highness Sheikh Hamdan, addressed perceptions about Dubai's ambition and bold vision. If you haven't seen the video, go to Smashi Business Socials, Instagram, wherever you want, and you can watch the video. Really interesting perspective. He responded to global observers who often comment on the UAE's reputation for aiming to be the biggest, tallest, and number one, and this and that. He clarified the true intent behind that mindset.
Now, Balhul said the idea is to always strive to be number one. It doesn't mean you'll be number one all the time, but having that vision ensures you're building a leading city of the future. He emphasized that such ambition is not about boasting, but about maintaining a future forward mentality.
Also, acknowledging the challenges along the way, Bilhul noted that Dubai has made mistakes, but those missteps have been used as pivot points rather than setbacks. He likened the government's approach to that of a venture capital fund where success is driven by learning and doubling down on winning bets.
He cited Burj Khalifa, DP World, and Calm AI as examples of Dubai's tangible winning bets and pointed out that less tangible initiatives like forward-thinking policies are just as critical to the city's success.
Ultimately, His Excellency Behlul's message reinforced Dubai's adaptive entrepreneurial mindset at the government level, one that learns from failure, scales success, and continues pushing the boundaries of global innovation leadership. Another story from Dubai AI Week before we discuss comes from Ali Sajwani, Managing Director of Operations, Finance and Hospitality at Damac Properties. He issued a cautionary note on the rapid rise of AI, artificial intelligence that is, and its impact on the workforce. He warned that even highly skilled professionals, including engineers and lawyers with decades of experience, could soon find their roles replaced by AI-driven technologies.
Sajwani pointed out that some AI models are already producing better insights than human professionals and in a fraction of the time. He gave an example. A lawyer earning 100,000 dirhams a month can now be outperformed by a model in under a day.
But instead of acting hastily, Ali Sajwani urged business leaders not to immediately cut jobs in favor of AI tools. He advised, don't rush to fire your team just because you have an AI product. Run both teams side by side.
And only when AI systems prove themselves as scalable, reliable, and return on investment positive, Sajwani said, should companies begin to strategically transition their workforce. His message, adopt AI wisely, not recklessly.
Yeah,
and I agree with that because in the end of the day, yes, you can have AI read something for you, but don't you need to take that information and actually apply it? You need a human to apply that information. It's not like the AI is going to climb out of your screen and do it for you. So I completely agree with him in that sense.
The implementation part is always, it needs a human touch. And that is why I think when you look at all the researchers, or whatever you read about AI in the recent past, everyone says that the normal menial robotic tasks, AI can beat you in a second. If you take 1 hour to do it, it'll do it in half a second. But when it comes to planning complicated stuff, which has a lot of variables, and AI goes ori. It doesn't know what to do. So that is why I think the next step in AI is agentic AI, where an agent will literally control your computer. You'll just tell it to do something, and then they will catch all the variables and then do something for you. A recent example is I forgot the name of that company and the AI. China recently introduced one agentic AI, which everyone was raving about, that it's so good. And the video I remember was that they wanted it to plan a trip, a 1-week trip to some place in Europe. They gave it a budget and said, I won't do less than a 3 or 4-star hotel, include all the local and domestic and international flights. So they gave it everything. They just wrote it like, this is my plan. Do everything yourself. It booked the tickets. It booked the hotels, the cheapest one, within budget. It literally did everything.
You're joking.
So agentic AI is the next step. Everyone says AGI,
One
average
second, let
general
me write
intelligence.
this down, Majid.
Yeah,
This
but
is worth writing down.
agentic AI is the next step. Most probably soon enough we'll see something of this sort. We are seeing agents. We're seeing agents in real estate. There's 2 or 3 Dubai companies which have already implemented a chatbot. They are calling it an AI agent, but it's basically a chatbot, has a face and personality and all that. Can communicate with you in like 50 plus languages, because ChatGPT again has the access to all the languages. So agentic AI will be like this. This is the best example I can give you. You give it let's say I have 30,000 dirhams budget. I want 4 days of weekend in Georgia, for example, if you're going from UAE. Figure out everything for myself. I won't do a less than 5-star hotel or 4-star hotel. And I want scenic views, or I want city life, or I want to experience food. It'll do everything here. it'll just pay for everything, and
This
you'll
is
be
gonna
like, okay,
save
thank you
Majid,
very
I
much.
think this is going to save a lot of marriages because I hear a lot of women always complaining about how, you know, they planned the wedding, but then
Yeah.
when it came to their husband's job was to plan the honeymoon, and they just did not do that properly. So I think this is going to lead to a higher rate of
The thing
couples
that
sticking
you're
together.
saying is consumer level consumption, basically the last denominator in the whole cycle.
Yeah.
Right now, at business level, I think agentic AI has been implemented to an extent. But what will happen eventually is that you and me will be able to use it for free, even. Because the fight between, I love the fight between all the top AI companies right now.
Who was
Because
it that
at the
said
end of the day,
something?
you and me are getting the benefit of that
No,
fight.
no, it was Elon Musk who said it, I think. There was one of these tech leaders who was basically saying that yes, it was Elon Musk. So basically, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's like this crazy feud between Sam Altman
Yeah.
and Elon Musk. It makes sense because they did found OpenAI together
yeah.
back, I believe, in 2016.
Don't remember
Around
the
during
exact
that
year
time,
now.
2013 to 2016, they founded OpenAI together. 3 years later, Elon Musk had ended up leaving because he wanted to further expand Tesla and work on it. But just around that time, that's when Sam Altman came up with ChatGPT that changed our lives
Yeah.
forever. But the point is,
Also,
you know,
they
they may
had
have.
a conflict on.
Oh.
They wanted Elon Musk wanted it to stay non-profit for life.
Mm.
Sam Altman wants to make it a for-profit company, at least some part of it. And
That's
that was
exactly-
like one of the
yeah.
big reasons. Again, obviously, Musk also wanted to focus on a lot of other projects
Yeah.
that he has. Like he's leaving Doji now, DOG, the Department of Government Efficiency, because everyone is complaining about Tesla stocks
Maybe
and
that's
everything.
why he's the richest man in the world. He
Yeah,
scales
he
everything
knows when
really
to run
quickly.
out of something
Yeah.
and when to go in and when to
But
go out.
basically, what happened, you know, Elon Musk, he was basically saying, I do think it was also criticism directed towards ChatGPT, that AI should be affordable and profitable for everyone.
Yeah.
That everyone should have it. And I think this statement, by the way, Majid, I think it stands true in every single industry, not
That
just
is
in
why-
AI, truly in
yeah.
everything. I remember, this is just a story that really stuck with me. You know Al Safadi? I'm sure
Yeah.
that you love Lebanese grills. I do too. I remember when I was speaking to Abid Al Safadi, the son of the owner. And you know, I was asking him about how they price their food because Al Safadi, for the portions that you're getting and everything, comparatively, if you look at other restaurants, their prices are actually affordable. And I remember I asked him, I was like, why do you guys do that? Because it is a very fancy place. They design it, the food quality,
Yeah.
they're spending a lot. And I remember he told me, Majid, he was like, honestly, I'd rather my customers come in 3 times a week instead of once in 2 months.
Yeah.
If I make it really expensive. And I just think this point of affordability in every single thing is so important. It does, there is wealth that will come out of it. Until now, I've still not gotten advanced ChatGPT. I probably should, but I just don't have it, and I just won't. I won't unlock those features that Majid has. But I'll do it at some point.
Now we have
But
company ChatGPT account. You can log into it, test it.
I
as
don't
soon
like
as you-
that, Majid. I don't like that. You know
Everyone
why?
uses it.
Everyone will see what my thread is
Yeah.
and how I do things.
Just delete it after you do it. But yeah, we
That's
had
true.
$200 plan. We are now very bullish on Grok. Word loves it. Our
Oh,
company
it's
loves it
amazing.
because it's better than ChatGPT in a lot of
Ward
things.
loves it. Our company loves
Yeah,
it.
Worth is the main proponent. Like, oh, I love Grog. I think she's the most. She's the person who uses it the most.
So good.
I think our owner Rich also uses it a
It's
lot.
really good, though.
I've tried it. I've tried both. It's just with ChatGPT, I've become sort of a prompt expert, and I have all my list of prompts. So I don't need to think about. Like, oh, I need to.
You just
I
give it the
know.
story.
I am just like, okay, copy the prompt. I know this will give me this exact thing that I want. So there are like 4 or 5 things that I do every day. So I have those prompts ready. With Grok, someday I'll sit down and be like, okay, let's find a good prompt for you and let's see the difference between your responses. We'll do it someday. But yeah, mainly AI is the hottest topic in the world right now. And talking about OpenAI and ChatGPT in a high-level meeting focused on the future of artificial intelligence, His Highness Sheikh Khaled bin Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi, received Sarah Friar, Chief Financial Officer of OpenAI, one of the world's leading AI research organizations.
Now, the discussion centered around OpenAI's latest innovations and global efforts to build advanced AI tools and technologies. His Highness stressed the importance of AI-driven innovation to shape the future of key economic and scientific sectors, calling for stronger global partnerships in this fast-evolving space.
And the meeting also addressed the UAE's strategic vision for AI adoption across industries, highlighting Abu Dhabi's growing role as a global hub for tech innovation. Efforts are underway to position the country at the forefront of a knowledge-based, competitive economy powered by advanced technologies.
Now, the meeting was also attended by Saif Saeed Ghabash, Secretary General of the Abu Dhabi Executive Council, and Peng Zhao, Group CEO of G42, further reinforcing the alignment between government, industry, and global AI leaders in shaping the region's tech future.
Yeah, we always see His Highness Sheikh Hamdan, the Crown Prince of Dubai, meeting with a lot of people. Very rarely we see Sheikh Khaled, the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi, but it was a nice meeting, I think. It's nice to see that all the people, all the big people, all of them have to come to UAE, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and meet our royals. It's like you have to put an attendance in that we came and we met you.
You know what it also is, though, Majid? It's because, the royals here, don't know if I should call it monarchy, they actually do play a big role in the decisions of the country.
Yeah.
A debate that I always see ongoing online is, what is the British monarchy doing?
Yeah.
What decisions are they actually making? No, I don't think this. I always think that there's hidden players, and there's things we don't always know and the media doesn't tell us. But I always see people saying that. But with the UAE, with Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Sharjah, we're constantly seeing that the royals have an active role, if anything, the most important role to play in the advancement of the country. And I think for me, this is why I'm so pro-monarchy. I think the UAE is such a great example of that.
It's kind of like,
Is that
I
called
don't
a
know what to
monarch,
call it.
Majid?
A very nice term would be a confederation, because there's 7 emirates and they combine together.
Yeah.
That is why United Arab Emirates. But the main idea is that one leader with one good vision can lead someone, some country, even himself. If you have good vision for your life as a ruler, as a ruler of yourself, if you start from a self, if you have a good vision, you will lead yourself to something great. And same goes with leaders who are actual leaders. If you have a good vision, if you're future first, you understand the needs of your people, not like right now, but after 20 years as well, that, this is what my people will need. You will always be successful. You won't be like Mr. Trump, who was yesterday, he actually, for the very first time in his first 100 days, I actually saw Trump sorry for what he did. So just before we leave, the US economy, the GDP, it contracted 0.3%. Yesterday, I saw it, I read it. And Trump said, like the first time he accepted that it's because of him. He's like, yeah, I'm sorry for it, but we will increase it many times and this and that. So you need a good leader with good vision who understands what people need, what the future is going to look like, and how you are ready for that future. Our leaders literally have that ability. And it's not that they're like born with it. They learn, again, this Mr. Behlul, His Excellency Behlul, the idea that he gave, that they do everything. They try to be the best in everything. Sometimes they fail. There's a lot of examples where Dubai tried something, couldn't do it. Let's give Burj Khalifa example. Everyone knows the story. They started building it. Halfway through, Dubai ran out of money. It was supposed to be called the Burj Dubai or something. Abu Dhabi jumped in. They were like, no, this is a monumental project for the UAE, not only for Dubai. We'll contribute. And they renamed it to Burj Khalifa. So imagine, they have gone through all the mistakes. But the idea is, don't just sit on it and be like, oh no, what will we do now? Learn, pivot, and make something great.
You know what it also is, Majid? The Middle East is imbued with such a beautiful culture.
Yeah.
I mean, if you take a look at America and you take
It's
a look...
every man for himself.
It's not about every man for himself.
Here you
it's
have
more of
at
the
least
fact
a sense
that,
of community,
like,
right?
Not even community. Let me just tell you. Basically, if you take a look at America and you date it back, by decades, it's who actually owns American land.
Yeah, it's natives, not them.
They're called the Native Indians,
Yeah.
I believe, but that's their land. And what did the Americans do? They came to America.
Conquered.
They conquered, but what
They
did they
call it
also
conquered,
do?
I call it
they modernized.
Yeah.
They completely modernized. Their history, it's entrenched with slavery. It's entrenched with colonialism. If you actually take a look at countries in the Gulf and the UAE, and you take a look at their history. It's imbued with so much culture. Their pearl diving history, their perfume history, the fact that they would go to India and they would purchase materials like agar wood,
The
oud,
trading history, basically, it's so rich.
sandalwood, exactly.
Yeah.
What else? They were gold traders. They would travel. Especially like their maritime industry. And when you combine that culture, Majid, with modernization, the product that you get, it's always completely different. I mean, I feel like a great example of this, and it's something we can all relate to. It's the Dubai chocolate. The Dubai chocolate right now, it's taken the world by storm. And why? It's imbued with culture. It's a project that has kunafa in it. Some people argue that
cultural, which is a very old,
exactly.
very relative still, but very old thing.
So what I'm basically trying to say, the reason why the Gulf is doing so well and they're going at a momentum it's slow, but it's slowly going up. It's because they have a culture that's imbued in their business. America doesn't really. It's entrenched on standing on other people's backs and taking things that are not yours. This is their land. They took a look at it and they expanded it. And I think that's where it really all is.
As Word said, Americans. Eric Trump yesterday.
And Majid present tomorrow. Make sure to follow us across all ahead with our daily newsletter. You'll find the subscription link in the description.
This has been a Smashi Business Show, a Smashi Business production, part of the Augustus Media Podcast Network. A big shout out